The sons of Issachar, Tola, Puah, Jashub, and Shimron, 4 in all. The sons of Tola, Uzi, Rephiah, Jeriel, Jemai, Ibiesam, and Samuel, heads of their families. During the reign of David, the descendants of Tola listed as fighting men in their genealogy numbered 22,600. The son of Uzi, Izrahiah. The sons of Izrahiah, Michael, Obadiah, Joel, and Isha. All 5 of them were chiefs. According to their family genealogy, they had 36,000 men ready for battle, for they had many wives and children. The relatives who were fighting men belonging to all the clans of Issachar, as listed in their genealogy, were 87,000 in all. 3 sons of Benjamin, Bela, Becher, and Jediel. The sons of Bela, Esben, Uzi, Uziel, Jeremoth, and Eri, heads of families, 5 in all. Their genealogical record listed 22,034 fighting men. The sons of Becher, Zemirah, Joash, Eliezer, Elionai, Omri, Jeremoth, Abiyah, Anatoth, and Elameth. All these were the sons of Becher. Their genealogical record listed the heads of families and 20,200 fighting men. The son of Jediel, Bilhan. The sons of Bilhan, Jeish, Benjamin, Ehud, Kenanah, Zethan, Tarshish, and Ahishahar. All these sons of Jediel were heads of families. There were 17,200 fighting men ready to go out to war. The Shuppites and Huppites were the descendants of Ir, and the Hushites the descendants of Aher. The sons of Naphtali, Jairtziel, Guni, Jezer and Shilem the descendants of Bilhah. The descendants of Manasseh, Azriel was his descendant through his Aramean concubine. She gave birth to Machir the father of Gilead. Machir took a wife from among the Huppites and Shuppites. His sister's name was Maacah. Another descendant was named Zelophehad, who had only daughters. Machir's wife Maacah gave birth to a son and named him Peresh. His brother was named Sheresh, and his sons were Ulam and Rakem. The son of Ulam, Beden. These were the sons of Gilead son of Machir, the son of Manasseh. His sister Hameleketh gave birth to Ishod, Abizer, and Mala. The sons of Shemida were, Ahian, Shechem, Leki, and Aniam. The descendants of Ephraim, Shuthelah, Bered his son, Tahat his son, Elida his son, Tahat his son, Zabad his son and Shuthelah his son. Ezer and Elid were killed by the native-born men of Gath, when they went down to seize their livestock. Their father Ephraim mourned for them many days, and his relatives came to comfort him. Then he made love to his wife again, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. He named him Beriah, because there had been misfortune in his family. His daughter was Shira, who built Lower and Upper Beth Horon as well as Uzzen-Shira. Repha was his son, Reshev his son, Tela his son, Tahan his son, Ladan his son, Ammihud his son, Elishama his son, Nun his son and Joshua his son. Their lands and settlements included Bethel and its surrounding villages, Naran to the east, Gezer and its villages to the west, and Shechem and its villages all the way to Aiah and its villages. Along the borders of Manasseh were Beth Shan, Tanakh, Megiddo, and Dor, together with their villages. The descendants of Joseph son of Israel lived in these towns. The sons of Asher, Imnah, Ishva, Ishvi, and Beriah. Their sister was Sarah. The sons of Beriah, Heber and Malkiel, who was the father of Berzath. Heber was the father of Japhlet, Shomer and Hotham and of their sister Shua. The sons of Japhlet, Pasach, Bimhal, and Ashvath. These were Japhlet's sons. The sons of Shomer, Roga, Hubba, and Aram. The sons of his brother Helam, Zophah, Imnah, Shelesh, and Amal. The sons of Zophah, Sua, Harnepher, Shual, Beri, Imrah, Betser, Had, Shama, Shilshah, Ithron, and Bera. The sons of Cheter, Jephunneh, Pispa, and Ara. The sons of Ulla, Ara, Haniel, and Rijah. All these were descendants of Asher, heads of families, choice men, brave warriors and outstanding leaders. The number of men ready for battle, as listed in their genealogy, was 26,000. Benjamin was the father of Bela his firstborn, Ashbel the second son, Ahar the third, Noah the fourth and Rapha the fifth. The sons of Bela were, Adar, Jerah, Abihud, Avishua, Naaman, Ahoah, Jerah, Shaphupan, and Huram. These were the descendants of Ehud, who were heads of families of those living in Geba and were deported to Manahath, Naaman, Ahijah, and Jerah, who deported them and who was the father of Uzzah and Ahihud. Sons were born to Shaharim in Moab after he had divorced his wives Hushim and Bara. By his wife Hodesh he had Jobab, Zebiah, Mesha, Malcolm, Jeuz, Sakia, and Mirma. These were his sons, heads of families. By Hushim he had Abitub and Elpaal. The sons of Elpaal, Eber, Misham, Shemd, who built Ono and Lod with its surrounding villages, and Beriah and Shema, who were heads of families of those living in Ayalon and who drove out the inhabitants of Gath. Ahio, Shashak, Jeremoth, Zebediah, Arad, Eder, Michael, Ishba and Hoa were the sons of Beriah. Zebediah, Meshullam, Iski, Haber, Ishmerai, Itzla and Jobab were the sons of Elpaal. Yakim, Zikri, Zabdi, Elini, Zilathai, Eliel, Adaiah, Beriah and Shimrath were the sons of Shimei. Ishban, Eber, Eliel, Abdon, Zikri, Hanan, Hananiah, Elam, and Thothijah, Ifdiah and Penel were the sons of Shashak. Shamsharai, Shahariah, Athaliah, Jereshiah, Elijah and Zikri were the sons of Jeroham. All these were heads of families, chiefs as listed in their genealogy, and they lived in Jerusalem. Jael the father of Gibeon lived in Gibeon. His wife's name was Maacah, and his firstborn son was Abdon, followed by Zur, Kish, Baal, Ner, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zeker, and Mikloth, who was the father of Shemiah. They too lived near their relatives in Jerusalem. Ner was the father of Kish, Kish the father of Saul, and Saul the father of Jonathan, Malchishua, Abinadab and Eshbal. The son of Jonathan, Merib Baal, who was the father of Micah. The sons of Micah, Piton, Melech, Tereah, and Ahaz. Ahaz was the father of Jehoiada. Jehoiada was the father of Elimeth, Asmaveth, and Zimri, and Zimri was the father of Moza. Moza was the father of Beniah, Rapha was his son, Eleasa his son and Azel his son. Azel had 6 sons, and these were their names, Azrikam, Bokeru, Ishmael, Shariah, Obadiah, and Hanan. All these were the sons of Azel. The sons of his brother Eshek, Ulam his firstborn, Jeish the second son and Eliphalet the third. The sons of Ulam were brave warriors who could handle the bow. They had many sons and grandsons, 150 in all. All these were the descendants of Benjamin. All Israel was listed in the genealogies recorded in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. They were taken captive to Babylon because of their unfaithfulness. Now the first to resettle on their own property in their own towns were some Israelites, priests, Levites and temple servants. Those from Judah, from Benjamin, and from Ephraim and Manasseh who lived in Jerusalem were, Utai son of Ammihud, the son of Omri, the son of Imri, the son of Bani, a descendant of Perez son of Judah. Of the Shilonites, Asaiah the firstborn and his sons. Of the Zerahites, Jewel. The people from Judah numbered 690. Of the Benjamites, Salu son of Meshullam, the son of Hodaviah, the son of Hasanwah, Ibneiah son of Jeroham, Elah son of Uzi, the son of Michri, and Meshullam son of Shephatiah, the son of Ruel, the son of Idnijah. The people from Benjamin, as listed in their genealogy, numbered 956. All these men were heads of their families. Of the priests, Jediah, Jehoiarib, Jachin, Azariah son of Hilkiah, the son of Meshullam, the son of Zadok, the son of Meraioth, the son of Ahitub, the official in charge of the house of God, Adaiah son of Jeroham, the son of Pashur, the son of Malchijah, and Masai son of Adiel, the son of Jozerah, the son of Meshullam, the son of Meshullemeth, the son of Immer. The priests, who were heads of families, numbered 1,760. They were able men, responsible for ministering in the house of God. Of the Levites, Shemaiah son of Hashab, the son of Azrikam, the son of Hashabiah, a Merarite, Bakbakar, Horesh, Galal and Mattaniah son of Micah, the son of Zikri, the son of Asaph, Obadiah son of Shemaiah, the son of Galal, the son of Jeduthun, and Berechiah son of Asa, the son of Elkanah, who lived in the villages of the Netophathites. The gatekeepers, Shallum, Akab, Talmon, Ahiman and their fellow Levites, Shallum their chief being stationed at the king's gate on the east, up to the present time. These were the gatekeepers belonging to the camp of the Levites. Shallum son of Kor, the son of Abiasaph, the son of Korah, and his fellow gatekeepers from his family, the Korahites, were responsible for guarding the thresholds of the tent just as their ancestors had been responsible for guarding the entrance to the dwelling of the Lord. In earlier times Phinehas son of Eleazar was the official in charge of the gatekeepers, and the Lord was with him. Zechariah son of Meshelemiah was the gatekeeper at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Altogether, those chosen to be gatekeepers at the thresholds numbered 212. They were registered by genealogy in their villages. The gatekeepers had been assigned to their positions of trust by David and Samuel the seer. They and their descendants were in charge of guarding the gates of the house of the Lord, the house called the Tent of Meeting. The gatekeepers were on the four sides, east, west, north and south. Their fellow Levites in their villages had to come from time to time and share their duties for 7-day periods. But the four principal gatekeepers, who were Levites, were entrusted with the responsibility for the rooms and treasuries in the house of God. They would spend the night stationed around the house of God, because they had to guard it, and they had charge of the key for opening it each morning. Some of them were in charge of the articles used in the temple service. They counted them when they were brought in and when they were taken out. Others were assigned to take care of the furnishings and all the other articles of the sanctuary, as well as the special flour and wine, and the olive oil, incense and spices. But some of the priests took care of mixing the spices. A Levite named Mattathiah, the firstborn son of Shallum the Korite, was entrusted with the responsibility for baking the offering bread. Some of the Kohathites, their fellow Levites, were in charge of preparing for every Sabbath the bread set out on the table. Those who were musicians, heads of Levite families, stayed in the rooms of the temple and were exempt from other duties because they were responsible for the work day and night. All these were heads of Levite families, chiefs as listed in their genealogy, and they lived in Jerusalem. Jael the father of Gibeon lived in Gibeon. His wife's name was Maacah, and his firstborn son was Abdon, followed by Zur, Kish, Baal, Ner, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zechariah, and Mikloth. Mikloth was the father of Shemim. They too lived near their relatives in Jerusalem. Ner was the father of Kish, Kish the father of Saul, and Saul the father of Jonathan, Malchishua, Abinadab and Eshbal. The son of Jonathan, Merib-Baal, who was the father of Micah. The sons of Micah, Piton, Melech, Tariah, and Ahaz. Ahaz was the father of Jada, Jada was the father of Alimeth, Asmaveth, and Zimri, and Zimri was the father of Moza. Moza was the father of Beniah, Raphiah was his son, Eleasa his son and Azel his son. Azel had 6 sons, and these were their names, Azrikam, Bokeru, Ishmael, Shariah, Obadiah, and Hanan. These were the sons of Azel. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, the Israelites fled before them, and many fell dead on Mount Gilboa. The Philistines were in hot pursuit of Saul and his sons, and they killed his sons Jonathan, Abinadab and Malchishua. The fighting grew fierce around Saul, and when the archers overtook him, they wounded him. Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and run me through, or these uncircumcised fellows will come and abuse me." But his armor-bearer was terrified and would not do it, so Saul took his own sword and fell on it. When the armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he too fell on his sword and died. So Saul and his 3 sons died, and all his house died together. When all the Israelites in the valley saw that the army had fled and that Saul and his sons had died, they abandoned their towns and fled. And the Philistines came and occupied them. The next day, when the Philistines came to strip the dead, they found Saul and his sons fallen on Mount Gilboa. They stripped him and took his head and his armor, and sent messengers throughout the land of the Philistines to proclaim the news among their idols and their people. They put his armor in the temple of their gods and hung up his head in the temple of Dagon. When all the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead heard what the Philistines had done to Saul, all their valiant men went and took the bodies of Saul and his sons and brought them to Jabesh. Then they buried their bones under the great tree in Jabesh, and they fasted 7 days. Saul died because he was unfaithful to the Lord. He did not keep the word of the Lord and even consulted a medium for guidance, and did not inquire of the Lord. So the Lord put him to death and turned the kingdom over to David son of Jesse. All Israel came together to David at Hebron and said, "We are your own flesh and blood. In the past, even while Saul was king, you were the one who led Israel on their military campaigns. And the Lord your God said to you, 'You will shepherd my people Israel, and you will become their ruler.'" When all the elders of Israel had come to King David at Hebron, he made a covenant with them at Hebron before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel, as the Lord had promised through Samuel. David and all the Israelites marched to Jerusalem, that is, Jebus. The Jebusites who lived there said to David, "You will not get in here." Nevertheless, David captured the fortress of Zion, which is the city of David. David had said, "Whoever leads the attack on the Jebusites will become commander-in-chief." Joab son of Zeruiah went up first, and so he received the command. David then took up residence in the fortress, and so it was called the City of David. He built up the city around it, from the terraces to the surrounding wall, while Joab restored the rest of the city. And David became more and more powerful, because the Lord Almighty was with him. These were the chiefs of David's mighty warriors. They, together with all Israel, gave his kingship strong support to extend it over the whole land, as the Lord had promised. This is the list of David's mighty warriors. Jashobeam, a Huponite, was chief of the officers. He raised his spear against 300 men, whom he killed in one encounter. Next to him was Eleazar son of Dodai the Ahite, one of the 3 mighty warriors. He was with David at Padamim when the Philistines gathered there for battle. At a place where there was a field full of barley, the troops fled from the Philistines. But they took their stand in the middle of the field. They defended it and struck the Philistines down, and the Lord brought about a great victory. 3 of the 30 chiefs came down to David to the rock at the cave of Adullam, while a band of Philistines was encamped in the valley of Rephaim. At that time David was in the stronghold, and the Philistine garrison was at Bethlehem. David longed for water and said, "Oh, that someone would get me a drink of water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem." So the 3 broke through the Philistine lines, drew water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem and carried it back to David. But he refused to drink it. Instead, he poured it out to the Lord. "God forbid that I should do this," he said. "Should I drink the blood of these men who went at the risk of their lives?" Because they risked their lives to bring it back, David would not drink it. Such were the exploits of the 3 mighty warriors. Abishai the brother of Joab was chief of the 3. He raised his spear against 300 men, whom he killed, and so he became as famous as the 3. He was doubly honored above the 3 and became their commander, even though he was not included among them. Benaiah son of Jehoiada, a valiant fighter from Kabzeel, performed great exploits. He struck down Moab's 2 mightiest warriors. He also went down into a pit on a snowy day and killed a lion. And he struck down an Egyptian who was 5 cubits tall. Although the Egyptian had a spear like a weaver's rod in his hand, Benaiah went against him with a club. He snatched the spear from the Egyptian's hand and killed him with his own spear. Such were the exploits of Benaiah son of Jehoiada. He too was as famous as the 3 mighty warriors. He was held in greater honor than any of the 30, but he was not included among the 3. And David put him in charge of his bodyguard. The mighty warriors were, Asahel the brother of Joab, Elhanan son of Dodo from Bethlehem, Shamath the Harorite, Helez the Pelonite, Ira son of Ikesh from Tekoa, Abiezer from Anatoth, Sibbecai the Hushathite, Eliahite, Maharai the Netophathite, Hold son of Baanah the Netophathite, Ittai son of Ribai from Gibeah in Benjamin, Benaiah the Parathonite, Hurai from the ravines of Gosh, Abiel the Arbathite, Asmaveth the Baharamite, Eliab the Shebonite, the sons of Hashem the Gizonite, Jonathan son of Shagi the Hararite, Ahiam son of Sakar the Hararite, Eliphal son of Yor, Heper the Macharathite, Ahijah the Pelonite, Hezro the Carmelite, Neri son of Ezbai, Joel the brother of Nathan, Mabhar son of Hagri, Zelek the Ammonite, Naharai the Barathite, the armor-bearer of Joab son of Zeruiah, Hira the Ithrite, Gareb the Ithrite, Uriah, the Hittite, Zabad son of Ali, Adiniah son of Shiza the Reubenite, who was chief of the Reubenites, and the 30 with him, Hanan son of Makkah, Joshaphat the Mithnite, Uzziah the Ashtrathite, Shammah and Jael the sons of Hotham the Arorite, Jediel son of Shimri, his brother Hoa the Tizite, Eliel the Mahavite, Jerubiah and Joshaviah the sons of Elam, Ithna the Moabite, Eliel, Obed and Hasiel the Mezobite. These were the men who came to David at Ziklag, while he was banished from the presence of Saul son of Kish. They were among the warriors who helped him in battle. They were armed with bows and were able to shoot arrows or to sling stones right-handed or left-handed. They were relatives of Saul from the tribe of Benjamin, Ahiezer their chief and Joash the sons of Shema the Gibeathite, Jeziel and Peleh the sons of Asmaveth, Barakah, Jehu the Anathothite, and Ishmaiah the Jibonite, a mighty warrior among the 30, who was a leader of the 30, Jeremiah, Jahaziel, Johanan, Jozabad the Gederathite, Eluzai, Jeremoth, Bealiah, Shemariah and Shephatiah the Heraphite, Elkanah, Isha, Azarel, Joezer and Jashobeam the Korahites, and Joelah and Zebediah the sons of Jeroham from Gedor. Some Gadites defected to David at his stronghold in the wilderness. They were brave warriors, ready for battle and able to handle the shield and spear. Their faces were the faces of lions, and they were as swift as gazelles in the mountains. Ezer was the chief, Obadiah the second in command, Eliab the third, Mishmanah the fourth, Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Elzabad the ninth, Jeremiah the 10th and Machbenai the 11th. These Gadites were army commanders, the least was a match for 100, and the greatest for 1,000. It was they who crossed the Jordan in the first month when it was overflowing all its banks, and they put to flight everyone living in the valleys, to the east and to the west. Other Benjamites and some men from Judah also came to David in his stronghold. David went out to meet them and said to them, "If you have come to me in peace to help me, I am ready for you to join me. But if you have come to betray me to my enemies when my hands are free from violence, may the God of our ancestors see it and judge you." Then the Spirit came on Amasai, chief of the 30, and he said, "We are yours, David. We are with you, son of Jesse. Success, success to you, and success to those who help you, for your God will help you." So David received them and made them leaders of his raiding bands. Some of the tribe of Manasseh defected to David when he went with the Philistines to fight against Saul. He and his men did not help the Philistines because, after consultation, their rulers sent him away. They said, "It will cost us our heads if he deserts to his master Saul, When David went to Ziklag, these were the men of Manasseh who defected to him: Adnah, Jozabad, Jediel, Michael, Jozabad, Elihu, and Zilithai, leaders of units of 1,000 in Manasseh. They helped David against raiding bands, for all of them were brave warriors, and they were commanders in his army. Day after day men came to help David, until he had a great army, like the army of God. These are the numbers of the men armed for battle who came to David at Hebron to turn Saul's kingdom over to him, as the Lord had said: from Judah, carrying shield and spear, 6,800 armed for battle; from Simeon, warriors ready for battle, 7,100; from Levi, 4,600, including Jehoiada, leader of the family of Aaron, with 3,700 men, and Zadok, a brave young warrior, with 22 officers from his family; from Benjamin, Saul's tribe, 3,000, most of whom had remained loyal to Saul's house until then; from Ephraim, brave warriors, famous in their own clans, 20,800; from half the tribe of Manasseh, designated by name to come and make David king, 18,000; from Issachar, men who understood the times and knew what Israel should do, 200 chiefs, with all their relatives under their command; from Zebulun, experienced soldiers prepared for battle with every type of weapon, to help David with undivided loyalty, 50,000; from Naphtali, 1,000 officers, together with 37,000 men carrying shields and spears; from Dan, ready for battle, 28,600; from Asher, experienced soldiers prepared for battle, 40,000; and from east of the Jordan, from Reuben, Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh, armed with every type of weapon, 120,000. All these were fighting men who volunteered to serve in the ranks. They came to Hebron fully determined to make David king over all Israel. All the rest of the Israelites were also of one mind to make David king. The men spent 3 days there with David, eating and drinking, for their families had supplied provisions for them. Also, their neighbors from as far away as Issachar, Zebulun and Naphtali came bringing food on donkeys, camels, mules and oxen. There were plentiful supplies of flour, fig cakes, raisin cakes, wine, olive oil, cattle and sheep, for there was joy in Israel. David conferred with each of his officers, the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds. He then said to the whole assembly of Israel, "If it seems good to you and if it is the will of the Lord our God, let us send word far and wide to the rest of our people throughout the territories of Israel, and also to the priests and Levites who are with them in their towns and pasturelands, to come and join us. Let us bring the ark of our God back to us, for we did not inquire of it during the reign of Saul." The whole assembly agreed to do this, because it seemed right to all the people. So David assembled all Israel, from the Shihor River in Egypt to Lebo-Hamath, to bring the ark of God from Kiriath-Jearim. David and all Israel went to Baal of Judah, Kiriath-Jearim, to bring up from there the ark of God the Lord, who is enthroned between the cherubim, the ark that is called by the name. They moved the ark of God from Abinadab's house on a new cart, with Uzzah and Ahio guiding it. David and all the Israelites were celebrating with all their might before God, with songs and with harps, lyres, timbrels, cymbals and trumpets. When they came to the threshing floor of Kidon, Uzzah reached out his hand to steady the ark, because the oxen stumbled. The Lord's anger burned against Uzzah, and he struck him down because he had put his hand on the ark. So he died there before God. Then David was angry because the Lord's wrath had broken out against Uzzah, and to this day that place is called Perez Uzzah. David was afraid of God that day and asked, "How can I ever bring the ark of God to me?" He did not take the ark to be with him in the city of David. Instead, he took it to the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. The ark of God remained with the family of Obed-Edom in his house for 3 months, and the Lord blessed his household and everything he had.